Hi creative friends, this is Freya and thank you so much for being here. So this is all completely dry and I'm gonna bring it up closer just so you can see some of the beautiful textures and paint quality. Now, like I mentioned in my last video, the two sides are looking very disjointed because the colors are not really carrying through. And the reason why is because I had a portrait done on this page and I had nothing. I think there was some words on here, but there was no color on here. And when I came back, I could not repeat the colors from this page onto this page because I don't know exactly what color I used, like particularly this blue over here. I just couldn't replicate it. So what I'm gonna do in this spread is, first of all, just have fun. I'm not even really thinking about what the end product is gonna look like or any of that stuff. I'm just being in the moment. I'm just in beginner's mind. I'm just having fun and being curious. But I did set a goal for myself, and that was to unify the two pages into reading as one cohesive spread. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to replicate the colors. So what I did is I just put some colors on my palette that I'm going to repeat on both the spreads. And I don't know if I'm going to use all of them, but I just put them out. But before I cover some of this up, I just wanted to look at what I am drawn to, what I might want to keep. And there's a lot that I'm really loving. Like, I love this part over here, the circles. I love the colors, this little piece of handmade paper. I'm really drawn to this part. And I'm thinking that when I do go in and work over top of it, like for my journal, and perhaps paint a lady or whatever, I'm gonna keep this part. So I already am seeing a body or a dress or something like that. So I'm really loving that part. And I'm really liking some of this, like the blues here. I'm really digging that. So, I'm just gonna kind of go back and forth. Now, I ran out of my chalk paint. It lasts for quite a long time because I get a big bottle, but, inevitably, I ran out of it. So, unfortunately, I can't use my chalk paint, but I am trying to use what I have and not just run out and go and buy stuff. So this is a good, experiment for me to see if I can hold true to that, I guess. So I'm just going to start off with my yellows because I'm just kind of feeling it. And I'm also just going to use my fingers here because I really want to smush things into the page. And so now what I'm going to do is any color I put on this page, I'm going to repeat it on here. Same with the lines, marks. Like if I get a Stabilo pencil and I make a mark, I'm going to repeat it. And that way, even if all the colors are not exactly repeated, it's still going to have some level of being cohesive, which is what I want. I don't want it to be exact, but I do want there to be some kind of, I don't want it to be so disjointed, I guess, is my thing. So when you use your fingers, you guys, and I should mention, you know what, I was using this religiously and then I stopped, unfortunately, but there's this Art Guard barrier cream, which I should have put it on my hands actually, but I didn't. But it's really good, just to prevent the paint from getting into your skin. Yeah, I have a full jar over there. I should have used it, but anyways, using my fingers, I can like really smush the paint into the page, and that way it becomes a part of the substrate as opposed to things sitting on top of the page, which there's nothing wrong with that. It's good to have like things that are smushed into the page and then also things that are sitting on top of the page. And that's how we create interest and contrast, excitement, like a sense of dynamic energy, if you will. It's just by contrasting different things. So, if you have a spread, and I'm just going to talk while I work. If you have a spread and you have like all 100% warm colors, it's not going to be as powerful. It's actually going to be kind of boring. It's not going to be as powerful as having, say, 70% warms and then 30% cools. Or if you wanted to push it, you can even have, like, say, even 90% warms and a 10% cool. But if you have something that's like, say, all cool or all warm, what's going to happen is if somebody looks at it, they're going to become overwhelmed. And they're going to look away. They're going to look away from the painting because it's going to be, their eye has no resting place. And it's not going to be exciting. It's just going to be like overwhelming, I guess. Now, I guess if you're a master and you know how to do that, maybe you could kind of do that. But generally speaking, you want there to be contrast. Whatever it is, it doesn't have to be color. It's everything. So, like, you know, I'm smushing parts of the paint into the page, but then I'm also going to add collage that's going to sit on top of the page, and that's going to give it a sense of interest, you know, because you're juxtaposing two different elements. It's color, it's line, it's just a lot of different things, textures. You want there to be variety. Even if, you know, one is going to be the majority, like say if you have 80% warms, that is the dominant, but you then want to offset that. So I'm just going to turn this around here. And I'm feeling like it needs like an injection of some kind of like a pinky color, like a deep color. So I'm really loving these maroon colors here. Now I am gonna kind of go like that. And honestly, you guys, this background is just like a fun thing because I was working on my portraits and I was getting really frustrated. And whenever I get that way, it's just like not a good thing. Nothing good is going to come out of it. I'm going to be fighting with the page. So I just decided to kind of take a break, and just do something fun, you know, like I'm just making these, this background right here. And it's just like something that's completely fun. Like there's no stress. And sometimes that's just what we need, you know? And I think I'm just gonna go over this. So I'm trying to like I said, just repeat my colors. And even if I don't repeat all the colors, it doesn't matter. If I repeat enough of the colors, it should provide some sort of cohesion. Now, what I want to do is I want to make some drips, I think. So when I want to make drips, what I do is I just like splash the water on here, like so. And then I just like go like this. And now you have just beautiful drips. See, and it just kind of, you know, just messes things up a little bit. And what I want to do is get my Stabilo. Now, I would like to use my blue Stabilo, but I think I only have one left, you guys, and I don't even know where it is. Okay. So now I feel like a lot of these colors are kind of on the bright side. So I want to kind of gringe things up just a little bit. I'm just gonna get that paint off my fingers there. So I want to gringe things up a little bit. So I'm gonna use my Stabilo here. And I'm just gonna kind of make some marks. Honestly, you guys, this is like so meditative, just making backgrounds. I have a ton of backgrounds, and I think I've shown you guys some of them. I have a lot of them on Bristol paper, in my sketchbooks, whatever. And, you know, sometimes people ask me, like, what do you do with these backgrounds? And I'm like, I don't know. You know, I do go over and paint over top of them. Like, I'm going to go paint over top of, say, all of this. You know, I started off, like, you know, there's an image here. But honestly, you guys, it's just like therapy. It's so relaxing and meditative just to paint and not worry about what, you know, the image. The same thing is true with like collage. I know a lot of people, it's very therapeutic to cut pieces of whatever, it doesn't matter, magazines, whatever, and just glue them onto the page. Like, yeah, that's therapy, you know? And besides the fact that you're learning and you're strengthening your visual language, I mean, all of those things come into play without even thinking about it. Now, I can still see parts of the face here that was on here, so I want to kind of get rid of that face, that image of the face, you know? Yeah, so, you know, working like this, it's relaxing, it's meditative, you're strengthening your visual language, you're learning so much without even realizing that you're learning, you know? It's just therapy. And I put on my Dr. Clarissa Pinkola SD's audiobooks, and I am so happy. So it's kind of coming along, you guys. I don't know if I'm gonna do a fourth part to this video because, you know, basically I mean, I could do a fourth part. I don't know. If there's anybody who's interested in a fourth part, please let me know. I will make a fourth part. I am going to continue working on it. I just don't know if there's any interest in watching me work on it. But yeah, I think I'm going to let this dry now. And because we've been having good weather, not every day, but, you know, sporadically, I've been able to put my stuff outside and let it dry. And I absolutely love that. I even have been able to work outside for short periods of time. Ooh, now I'm liking that. Just that kind of like that part over there. Ooh, I'm liking that. So do you see what I mean about how we just learn so much without even realizing it? And, you know, I feel like it is kind of moving in the right direction here. So now I feel like it's a lot more cohesive, even though, you know, I didn't replicate all the colors. I feel like it's more cohesive. It's still a bit jumbled up, but at least it's reading as one color field. To me, anyways. Anyways, you guys, if you've watched all the way to the end, thank you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.